The magical hands of Hall of Fame receiver Lance Allworth gave the Cowboys a 10-0 lead, while Miami continued to let scoring opportunities slip away. Larry Csonka fumbled for the first time in 238 carries, and Miami became the only team in Super Bowl history not to score a touchdown.
People had those white handkerchiefs waving before we came out. I think they're going to use it to dry their eyes now. Look at them. Dry your eyes and weep. We're number one. Hey, let's get better now. We'll improve out here next couple series. Let's go.
And Greasy back to throw again. Somebody fell down. There's a pass intercepted by Halley down to the 40. Halley down to the 35. Halley down to the 20. Chuck falls down at the 10-yard line, and Halley is so mad. Here's one of the great original Cowboys. Garrison right. Thomas left. Second to go. Pitch out to Thomas. Twain cuts inside the 5 to the 12. And touchdown for Wayne Thomas. He made a great 11:50 remaining. Dallas leading 17-3, and they're at the 7-yard line of Miami. And Stomach drops back to pass. That's up. Pass to end zone. Touchdown! It's the Beaver, Mike Ditka. Mike Ditka.
The Cowboys rushed for a Super Bowl record 252 yards, and their defense limited the Dolphins to a low of 185 total yards.
What do you think, Coach? I think it's pretty nice. Congratulations. Really happy.
After 13 years as head coach in Dallas, Tom Landry reached the pinnacle of pro football as his Cowboys demolished the Dolphins 24-3.
After that terrible defeat at the hands of the Cowboys in the Super Bowl, that was the turning point in the Miami Dolphins from just a good football team to a championship team. The following July in training camp, Coach Shula said our objective is not to look back at what happened at the Super Bowl, but to now go forward and strive for perfection. And he said that boils down to taking a game at a time and winning every game. I don't know how many other people in that locker room or in that meeting room that day remember him saying that, but that was a forecast of he was actually predicting the future, because we went undefeated that season.
When the Dolphins reached the Super Bowl, they knew full well that 16 straight wins meant nothing without victory in the 17th. And it was a freak play that put Miami's streak in jeopardy.
The kick is blocked, rolling loose on the field. It is picked up by Garrow. He tries to throw a pass, deflected in the air, grabbed by Bass. 40, 35, 30. He's going to score. 10-5, touchdown.
Garo Yepremian situation, I think Garo always pictured himself as Roman Gabriel in 6'6" and flowing hair, standing amidst the masses and throwing the winning touchdown. Unfortunately, Garo's dream didn't come true quite that way. In football, there's many tests, but I think Garo Yepremian passed the supreme test, because had I been he at that moment, I would not have gone to the Dolphin sideline. I've never seen Coach Shula look like that before or since. Garo at that point was not a naturalized citizen. He was still waiting for his papers. And I think he had used Shula as a reference. To be honest with you, if I would have been Garo Yepremian after that play, I would have run out at the end of the Coliseum and borrowed someone's car and drove to the coast and taken a boat back to Cyprus. Fortunately, we won it, and I don't know of anyone that was happier in that locker room than Garo Yepremian. He must have come around and shook hands 7 or 8 times.
The world champions bubble refused to burst the following year when they took on the Minnesota Vikings in Super Bowl VIII. Winners of 31 of their last 33 games, the Dolphins pounded the opposition with the relentless running of Larry Csonka, who rushed for a then Super Bowl record 145 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Greasy turning around to check his running backs. Looks as though he's almost talking to Csonka. So it's first and goal from the 5. It's Csonka straight up the middle, and he's got the touchdown. Larry Csonka carries it in from 5 yards out. His second touchdown of the afternoon.
Csonka was named most valuable player, and the Dolphins were proclaimed a dynasty. The Minnesota Vikings were the losingest team in Super Bowl history. And in 1975, they looked to turn the tide against the Pittsburgh Steelers. But if Super Bowl VIII seemed like a horror film starring Larry Zonka, its sequel, Super Bowl IX, featuring Franco Harris, was even worse for the Vikings. Number 32 turned Minnesota's Purple People Eaters red-faced. Behind playbook perfect blocking, Harris broke Zonka's record by amassing 158 yards rushing. "42 years of losing and frustration ended with a 16-6 Pittsburgh win. And no one was more fulfilled than the man they call the Chief, Steelers owner Art Rooney. The popular patriarch was a lovable loser no longer. Rooney and the Steelers sought to continue their winning ways against the Dallas Cowboys in what may have been the most exciting Super Bowl ever, Super Bowl X. From the beginning, the Cowboys made it look easy when Roger Staubach connected with Drew Pearson for a 29-yard score. It was the only touchdown the Steelers permitted in the first quarter of any game all year. But the Steelers recovered when Terry Bradshaw rolled right and found tight end Randy Grossman in the end zone. It appeared the Cowboys were loading their guns for a shootout. The Steelers accepted the challenge. They unleashed their most devastating weapon, a graceful gazelle named Lynn Swann. Swann's levitating leap is considered one of the greatest catches in football history. Then, he literally rose to the occasion to haul in the game's winning score.
Now he fires for the bomb, and Lynn Swann going for it. Swann pulls it in for a touchdown. Lynn Swann beat his man on a bomb.
Swann set a Super Bowl record with 161 yards on 4 receptions and captured MVP honors. For the Cinderella Cowboys, their storybook season came up 4 points short, 21-17. For the Steelers, Super Bowl X was another chapter to be carved into football history as they established themselves as one of the greatest teams of all time.
From the Rose Bowl Stadium in Pasadena, California, it is Super Bowl XI. This is Bill King with a welcome. Everything in the United States, everything really in a sports sense in the world, is zeroed in, focused today here in the canyon at Arroyo Seco. This 11th Super Bowl will be viewed in 41 nations around the world. Desde el Tazón de las Rosas en Pasadena, California, los Raiders de Oakland y Vikingos de Minnesota se enfrentan en el Super Tazón número 11.
Les Raiders d'Oakland, champions de la conférence américaine, et les Vikings de Minnesota, champions de la conférence nationale.
対戦いたしますのは AFC 代表 Oakland Raiders.
We are about to bring to you the 11th Super Sunday Super Bowl.
Neither the Vikings nor the Raiders had ever won a Super Bowl. But from the start, it appeared Oakland, the NFL's most consistent winner for over a decade, would finally claim its first title. Raider quarterback Ken Stabler had no difficulty avoiding the jaws of the Purple People Eater defense, and his touchdown pass to tight end Dave Casper helped Oakland build a 16-0 first-half lead. Then, the vicious Raider defense choked the life out of the Minnesota offense. And in the final quarter, the Raiders' secondary turned the Vikings' comeback dream into a hopeless quest.
Francis back to pass. Throw the sideliner. Picked off. It's going to be a touchdown. Willie Brown. 45-40, 35-30, 25-20. Old man Willie. He's going all the way.
Willie Brown's 75-yard interception return for a touchdown iced the Raiders' 32-14 win and dealt Minnesota an